I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. Well, the sun's not shining so brightly these days. According to this news report from BBC, the quiet sun is baffling astronomers. There are no sunspots, very few solar flares. It says, and our nearest star is the quietest it's been in a very long time. The observations are baffling astronomers. The sun normally undergoes an 11-year cycle of activity. At its peak, it has a tumultuous, boiling atmosphere that spits out flares and planet-sized chunks of super-hot gas. Last year, it was expected that it would have been heating up after a quiet spell, but instead it hit a 50-year low in solar wind pressure, a 55-year low in radio emissions, and a 100-year low in sunspot activities. In the mid-17th century, that'd be 1650s, a quiet spell known as the Maunder Minimum lasted 70 years, and it led in Europe to a mini ice age. This has resulted in some people suggesting that a similar cooling might offset the impact of climate change. Everybody's expecting climate change. They used to call it global warming, and now that everything is so cold, they call it climate change. Professor Mike Lockwood of Southampton University was one of the first researchers to show that the sun's activity has been gradually decreasing since 1985. He said, quote, "If you look carefully at the observations, it's pretty clear that the underlying level of the sun peaked at about 1985. And what we are seeing is a continuation of a downward trend in solar activity that's been going on for a couple of decades." Professor Lockwood believes that as well as the sun's 11-year cycle, there is an underlying solar oscillation lasting hundreds of years. He suggested that 1985 marked the grand maximum in this long-term cycle, and the Maunder Minimum back in 1650s marked its low point. He said we would expect it to be more than 100 years before we get down to the levels of the Maunder Minimum. Well, Earth's surface temperature dropped in 2008, and it's no coincidence given the deep solar minimum. If we were to see a Maunder Minimum type of sunspot activity occur over the next few decades, the world's economy and agriculture would suffer tremendously. Can you imagine what would happen if crops failed? And by the way, most of the continents and the landmass of our planet is located in the northern hemisphere. Even China is in the northern hemisphere. India is in the northern hemisphere. I mean, that's mind-boggling. There's so much in the northern hemisphere, and it seems so cold up here these days. Well, here's another news article. Jewish men are being fitted for priestly garments so that they can serve in a soon-coming Jewish temple. Now, I know we've discussed the solar problem before, and also that Jewish men are being fitted for these priestly garments. So I wanted to bring it back to you. Today is Tuesday, and I just wanted to let you know that the Temple Institute started preparing to build a third temple on Jerusalem's Mount Moriah, the site of the Dome of the Rock, by inaugurating a workshop that manufactures these priestly garments to be worn by the Jewish priests who will serve in a third Jewish temple to be built in Jerusalem. Rabbi Yehuda Glick, director of the Temple Institute, said that when the temple is rebuilt, the Kohanim, that is the members of the priestly family, must wear the proper outfit to perform the obligations at the temple. Priestly garments have not been worn since the destruction of the Second Temple by the Romans in AD 70. And it cannot be a functional unit until the third temple is constructed. So the Jews are planning to build a third temple. Where? We don't know for sure. One more thing I'd like to bring to your attention today, and this is kind of amusing. In February 9, 2009, President Obama had his first White House press conference in the East Room, And he said, after taking 13 questions, thank you guys, and made his way back down the cross hall. He took 13 questions. On March 24th, 2009, at his second news conference, he took questions from 13 reporters. On April 29th, 2009, on primetime television about his 100 days in office, President Obama met in the East Room of the White House and answered 13 questions about his 100 days in office. On April 30th, 2009, Barack Obama mentioned that he had these 13 questions for a reason. He said he calls on exactly 13 reporters, always the Associated Press first, and then a mix of print and TV and a few other alternative outlets, and then the hour is up. On January 6, 2008, in the primaries, Obama was said to be 13 points over Hillary Clinton. On January 7th, the very next day, Obama has up to 13 points, a lead of 13 points in New Hampshire. On January 19th, the press reported that Obama gained 13 delegates and Clinton only gained 12. On January 25th, 2008, Obama leads South Carolina poll by 13 points. On February 6, 2008, in the U.S. primaries, Obama wins in 13 states. And then on April the 1st, 2008, according to Alan Stewart Carl, in related entries in the 2008 election, he said Barack, Minnesota superdelegates, he said Barack Obama now leads Hillary Clinton 13 to 11 in endorsements. On August the 27th, Obama is up 13 points in New Mexico. In October of 2008, Barack Obama unveiled his latest attack ad this morning, a 13-minute documentary on John McCain and his ties to Charles Keating. On October 23rd, 2008, CBS said, with just 12 days left till the election, Democratic presidential nominee Barack Obama holds a 13-point lead over the Republican rival John McCain. On October 25th, 2008, 13 Obama workers pulled their bogus ballots in Ohio. A federal prosecutor cut a deal with 13 Barack Obama campaign workers who illegally cast ballots in Ohio on Thursday. The 13 out-of-staters pulled their ballots after being warned that temporary residents cannot vote in the battleground state. On November 13th, that's the 13th day of November, Barack Obama announced that he would resign his Senate seat. That was in 2008, November 13th, 2008. On February 19th, 2009, he said that Obama said, and this was reported by Nikki Schwab in Washington Whispers, it's one of the most heralded benefits of the $787 billion stimulus bill. Taxpayers will get about an extra $13 a week in their paychecks. And then, according to responses to Obama Basics, whatever that is, charge number 27, I quickly released my financial records, he said, and legislative records because I have no special interest connections to hide. Senator Obama took 13 months to release his records. On March the 8th, 2007, he was told that he could not keep the money in these stocks that he had in a blind trust, and so he sold them at a personal loss of $13,000, and he lost 13% of the money he had invested. On November 5th, the year 2002, in the general election of November 5th, Obama, running unopposed on the ballot, was reelected to a 4-year term as Chicago's senator from the 13th district. And on it goes. You've heard about the little wobbling head doll, the Obama doll that has several inspirational sayings. It's 13 inches tall. Well, according to the StreetInsider.com, who puts together its top 15 news reports for 2008, which chronicles our view of the most significant news on Wall Street during the tumultuous year, item number 13 was Obama elected president. Well, just wanted you to know what's been going on, some of the things it appears on the internet. You know, I believe we live in apocalyptic times. I'm convinced that the world is moving in a direction that will see the prophecies of the Bible fulfilled. So my encouragement to you is keep looking up. I believe Jesus is coming soon. I'm J.R. Church. We'll see you again tomorrow with our analysis of the news.